how's it going with you? Did you get that promotion?
No, but we're on the cusp of something really big.
You know Oscorp would hire you in a heartbeat, right? One phone call to hair.
Sure, but Dr. Octavius's work will help millions. I'm right where I want to be, right where I should be. It's okay. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. What's a few bucks when you're trying to change the world, right?
To changing the world.
I got a second chance. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. But I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world.
Well, as it turns out, Harry, it looks like the world isn't the only thing that's being healed in this game. But regardless, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very interesting Marvel Spider-Man 2 related video. And at the time of this recording, we are exactly 2 months away until the official worldwide release of Marvel Spider-Man 2 on October 20th, which not only shows how fast time has gone by ever since the initial gameplay reveal for Marvel Spider-Man 2 all the way back in the PlayStation Showcase this year in May, but it also means that we are more than likely going to be receiving even more official information about Marvel Spider-Man 2 in order to fully market the game sooner rather than later. But until we end up receiving our next official news drop from Insomniac themselves, I actually wanted to take the time in this video to fully discuss one particular aspect about Marvel Spider-Man 2, which I would personally view as the biggest upgrade yet for the Marvel Spider-Man series ever since the initial release of Marvel Spider-Man Remastered for the PlayStation 5 back in 2020. And as you likely could have told from the intro of this video as well as the thumbnail, I am of course talking about the brand new character designs for the entirety of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 cast. But of course, I'm primarily focusing on the biggest controversy surrounding the Marvel Spider-Man franchise is none other in regards to the Peter Parker face model, which in my personal opinion has been significantly improved ever since the initial remodeling of Peter Parker in the PS5 Remaster re-release. And in this video, I mainly want to explain exactly why that is, and also bring up some statements as to what Insomniac has said about the face changes as well. So if you're someone like me who can't wait to see more of the character models in action within this game, then definitely be sure to flip that like button and subscribe to the channel for any major Marvel Spider-Man 2 news and updates. So yes, even though I never thought we would be talking about this topic again, I did want to fully lay all my opinions out there relating to the brand new updated face models of the core cast of Marvel Spider-Man 2, but primarily in the case surrounding one of the biggest main characters of the game itself, none other than Peter Parker, who is once again being visually rendered after the current face model of Peter Parker that we saw in Marvel Spider-Man Remastered of Ben Jordan, rather than the previous face model who encapsulated Peter Parker of John Bubniak within the initial PlayStation 4 version. Now, to take you all back to the year of 2020 where this entire controversy started in the first place, is that Insomniac officially decided to recast the face model of Peter Parker for the PlayStation 5 remaster of Marvel Spider-Man in order to more accurately visualize the bone structure of the core actor who plays Peter Parker in the game himself of Yuri Lowenthal. And based on Insomniac's statements, it sounded like Ben Jordan did have a much more visually similar bone structure to Yuri Lowenthal in comparison to John Bubniak. Now, as for whether or not I 100% believe that statement is still up in the air, but at the time of the PS5 Remaster's release, I personally don't think that the new updated face model for Peter Parker wasn't doing the character any major favors, considering that a lot of people at the time, myself included, pretty much thought that this new face was Sony's way of trying to incorporate a Tom Holland lookalike into their massively successful Spider-Man game franchise, considering that Tom Holland himself is the current live-action Spider-Man in all of his major blockbuster films. So it only made sense for Sony to try and synergize both of their massively popular Spider-Man properties, even though that pretty much completely defeats the purpose of casting John Bubniak in the first place, considering that Insomniac and Marvel Games wanted to make Spider-Man PS4 look and feel completely different from any of the recent Spider-Man properties that were coming out at the time, which in this case mainly related to its MCU counterpart. In fact, this was one of the biggest reasons as to why so many people were complaining when we initially saw the official gameplay reveal for the Marvel's Avengers game, game, where for that game, all the characters on the main Avengers roster pretty much looked like a discount version of their live-action MCU counterparts, which didn't necessarily do that game any favors by the time we saw gameplay of it in action. But the biggest reason why I personally believe that Ben Jordan's face model looks so uncanny valley for Peter Parker within Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered is essentially due to how Insomniac were remapping all the initial facial animations that they incorporated into Peter Parker, starting off with John Bubniak, which they then had to swap out for a completely different face model with Ben Jordan. Where on the flip side, this is why Ben Jordan's face model in comparison does look improved within Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, considering that game was available both on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And Ben Jordan's Peter Parker was the main model that was available on each version of the game, which Insomniac at that point decided to model directly from the ground up for both consoles. Which now finally brings us to the present day with Marvel's Spider-Man 2, where even though we've only gotten a few glimpses at the new face models of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I can already tell without a doubt that this is a massive upgrade in comparison to the Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered version, where thanks to the case of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, instead of Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered remastering a PlayStation 4 game to then run on the PlayStation 5, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 in comparison was built completely from the ground up, running exclusively on the next-gen platform of the PS5, which means that this not only applies to Peter Parker's face model, but the entirety of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 cast, which we can clearly see the biggest changes of for Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and even Mary Jane. In fact, the Marvel Spider-Man 2 story trailer looks so good that some people even thought that Insomniac once again recasted the face model for Mary Jane, just like they did for Peter Parker. But as the community director of James Stevenson from Insomniac Games said himself, is that for the case of MJ herself is that she does have the same face model and actress as her Spider-Man PS4 version, which in this case was Stephanie Tyler-Jones. And the same occurrence is happening here for the other characters in the game, like Miles Morales being voiced and played by Najee Jeter, alongside of newcomer Graham Phillips, who is going to be embodying Harry Osborn in both the face and the voice, as well as Peter Parker himself, who is being face modeled by Ben Jordan and is being voiced and mocapped by Yuri Lowenthal. Not to mention other returning characters and actors like Stephen O'Young portraying Mr. Negative, Mark Rolston playing Norman Osborn, and I'm sure many others. Which is pretty much the extended version of saying that every single character within Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has received a massive visual improvement, which will not only look graphically incredible while running on the PlayStation 5, but this will also be providing much more genuinely authentic and emotional performances from the entirety of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 cast throughout the entirety of the game's main campaign. It really seems like Insomniac have fully nailed each of the individual visual portrayals of all their core cast members. And even coming once again from James Stevenson himself, he did go on to say on Twitter that they will look even better by the time the game launches. And based on everything that we already saw in the story trailer, I for one can't wait to see what the final product will look like. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all of you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of the new and improved face models for the Marvel Spider-Man 2 cast? And out of everyone that we have seen so far, who do you think looks the best visually? Even though John Bubniak's Peter will always hold a special place in my heart, I can finally believe Ben Jordan's Peter Parker to be a version of the character that does fit the aesthetic that Insomniac is going for. So it's definitely going to be very interesting by the time we see all the cutscenes for Marvel Spider-Man 2's story when Peter and Miles are out of their Spider-Man suits. But until that time comes, everybody, let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below, leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, stay spectacular Spidey fans, and until next time, peace out.